Hi guys, it's Mike here from KS Bushcraft Down Under. Thought I'd go a bit off topic today and talk about financial literacy. Now I think we're really suffering from it today. Most people haven't got the faintest idea of good money management, and the internet's awash with horror stories about how people's mortgage rates hitting 5-6%. Well, traditionally their average is about 7, and when I got my first mortgage I was paying 19% for my unit and 17% for my house. So for the last decade interest rates have been so low. The whole world has been awash with cheap money. Now the inflation genie's out of the box. The cost of money is going up globally. So in Australia here we've had 8 consecutive months of interest rate rises between sort of 0.25% and 0.5%. So people are starting to hurt. Okay. Now, slipping out of the paper here, poor old millennials are being slugged here. Our cost of living here where I live in Western Australia has gone up about 7%, and it's set to get worse. And this one here, total household net worth has slipped $14 trillion. Well, considering there's about 28 million people in Australia, that's a lot of money here. So they've come up with a figure of $550,000. So that's drops in the value of your investments, our superannuation system here, all of the above. Okay. So unless you're micromanaging your superannuation, which is a bit like American 401k, I think they call it. It's our pension scheme. Okay. So the more that you put in, the more that you get out on the end, but you can manage the risk in it as well. So what I'm going to talk about today is I deal with lots of elderly people. Some of them I inherited from my late father, and he would always read documents and dole out advice. So there is no wins in giving out financial advice. If it goes really well, they're really clever. Even if it goes badly, you're really stupid, as yourself. Not me. So anyway, I was at an old dear's house, and she had a term deposit renewal from a bank here in Australia. Now the previous year, she'd got about 0.3%, which is about what I was getting as well. So I think I managed to negotiate 0.5. So she got the renewal this year, and they offered an opening offer of 1.5%. So the previous year she got $1,800 at 0.3% for 600,000 Australian dollars. This year the 1.5 offer would have been $9,000, so it's significantly up. Okay. Now I said she can do far better. Now her son had told her it's not worth the effort to go down to the bank and spend time faffing around, because you won't do any better. Well, I thought, well, unless he's Elon Musk, surely it's got to be time well spent. Okay. So if you go into a situation, you're going to someone else's turf. Okay. It's a bit like being ambushed in the car park if you're not expecting it, right? So you need to get your ducks in a row, okay, and realise that you're going into their territory. Now, my late father gave me the best piece of advice, and I'll pass it on to you. In any situation, know who's getting paid. Now, some of these officers at these banks are subcontractors, especially the loans guys. I'm not so much about the savings guys. So I imagine they're commission based. I don't know exactly how, but I would imagine if they're signing you up for a term deposit up to 1.5%, where the market could stand 5%, that they're probably getting a more commission. Okay, so it's predatory behaviour on the banks. So I phoned up this bank to make an appointment because it had to be a face-to-face appointment. 40 minutes on hold. Okay, and I got through, and I was told I couldn't make an appointment for someone else. Well, that's charming. So I actually went down to the branch and had no problems making an appointment for someone else. So I went down. Now before I went down I checked out what the market predictions were for the cash rate and all that. And I printed out a few sheets which actually came from the same financial arm of the same bank I was going to. So I went into the appointment, put the suit on, looked myself smart, took the old ear down. I spoke to a junior officer and I said, oh, we'll be looking at around the 5% range. Oh, I couldn't possibly do that. And I said, well, we'll have to transfer to a bank that will provide that, because there are others who are offering 4.8 at the time. So I had to step it up to the next level of management. It was a pantomime, guys. It really was. In the end, I got a 5%, so $30,000. Now that's an extra $21,000 for 8 minutes work in the bank. Okay. Now the minimum wage in Australia is $21.38, so $812 a week. That's 26 weeks' wages for a minimum wage guy. So her son, who works at the supermarket, would have been far better off taking a week off work to try and hammer that out. Yeah. So be aware that there are better deals to be had out there, and it's a bit of a pain, and they make it a bit of a pain, but the old dear on the single age pension is getting 26,000 Australian dollars a year. So that's nearly an extra year's pension, okay? Now the Australian government has a deeming rate for money in the bank, which is actually higher than the bank offers, very close to that, of that figure. So they're deducting your pension by money that in the previous year you weren't even receiving. So guys, I mean, times are changing, and if you spend an hour a week or something or other making sure that your financials are as best as they can be, it's time well spent, okay? If you don't understand something, it's not a bad thing to reach out. I mean, the internet's a fabulous resource. Steer away from anyone that wants to sell you an online course, okay? You can look it up at the library, simple enough, and go into every situation in life with your eyes open, okay? Financial advisors can be a bit Wild West, but do your research and make your decisions well. Anyway guys, if this content helps you out and helps you make good decisions, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I shall catch you next time.
Is this water coming from here?
Yeah.
Oh. Is it like a backup?
No, it's mainly irrigation dam, but further downstream there used to be a hydro pump